Okay, so we're about to tackle a piece of advice you've probably heard your entire life. And what if I told you this one idea might be the very thing holding you back from ever getting truly wealthy? I mean, seriously, think about it. We're always told to pick a lane, right? Specialize, become a master of one thing. But what if that's just plain wrong? What if it's a trap? To really get this, we need to look at how wealth is actually built. It's not this straight line we imagine. It's more like a pyramid. And believe me, the people at the top, they are playing a completely different game. Yeah, it's not just about working harder or being smarter. There's a fundamental difference in their strategy, a totally different playbook that separates the people struggling at the bottom from the ones who are thriving at the very top. And wow, this slide just lays it all out. The wealthy build entire systems. They have multiple streams of income, often from multiple businesses. It's a safety net, but it's also a massive engine for growth. And the other 99%, we're taught to rely on a single fragile paycheck from a single job. That's one point of failure. Ah, there it is. The classic line. We've all heard it, right? From our parents, teachers, bosses. And look, it's meant to be helpful advice to keep us focused. But what it really is a kind of societal hypnosis. And this hypnosis, it's powerful. It makes us feel guilty for wanting to explore new things, telling us that trying to do more than one thing is a path to failure. But for the wealthy, it's the only path to success. So the very first thing we have to do, we have to break free. So how do we do that? How do we actually break free? Well, the first step isn't about going out and doing something. It's not about action, it's about a decision. It's an internal shift you have to make before anything else can even begin. This is it. The mindset shift. It's you consciously telling yourself, you know what? I'm done with the old rules. I am committing to building a portfolio of income, not just collecting a single paycheck. It's a declaration. So I'm asking you, right here, right now, are you ready to make that commitment to say, yes, I am going to create multiple sources of income for myself? Because that one simple yes is what unlocks everything else. Okay, so once you've made that mental shift, you're probably thinking, great, but how? Where in the world do I even start? And that brings us right to step 2, finding your personal blueprint. I mean, you go online and you see this stuff everywhere, right? Start a podcast, write an ebook, do some affiliate marketing. And hey, don't get me wrong, these are all perfectly valid ways to make money. But there's a huge, huge problem with just picking a trend off a list like this. Because chasing a trend you're not actually interested in, it's like forcing yourself to climb a super steep mountain. Yeah, you might start out with some enthusiasm, but because you don't actually love the climb, you get tired, you get discouraged, and you almost always turn back before you even get close to the top. This quote just nails it. The secret isn't finding the hottest new thing. It's about finding the one thing that connects with what you're genuinely interested in. Because every business, every single one, has tough times. And when those bad times hit, and trust me, they will, your passion is the only thing that's gonna give you the grit to push through. Let me tell you this quick story, because it's perfect. There's a guy who grew up in India, and his family had a scrap shop, what they call a bungar shop. He was literally surrounded by what other people saw as garbage. So when he moved to Australia for school, he didn't go chase some flashy tech startup. Nope. He did what he knew. He started a garbage collection business because he understood it and he wasn't ashamed of it. And today, he's got a fleet of 8 trucks and is wildly successful. See? The lesson here is so powerful. Don't ever underestimate the stuff you know and love. That so-called weird hobby or that niche knowledge you have, that might just be your superpower. That could be the foundation for a business you'll actually stick with for the long haul. All right, you've broken the hypnosis. You've found an idea that's actually rooted in your interests. Now for the final step. This is the big one. This is the accelerator. This is how you truly scale. Now, this is going to sound like a paradox. How can something be both the easiest and the most difficult step? Well, the action itself is simple, but it forces you to overcome a really powerful human emotion, greed. It's that poor person's mindset of needing to own 100% of everything. 4%. Just look at this number. What on earth could that mean? Well, it's the key to understanding how massive wealth is really built. That is roughly the ownership stake that Deepinder Goyal, the billionaire founder of the food delivery giant Zomato, has in his own company. Think about that. He became a billionaire by owning just a tiny slice of the pie. Why? Because he gave away the other 96% to partners, to investors, to employees, to build something absolutely enormous. So this is the choice you have to make. It's really this simple. You can hang on with a death grip to 100% of a grape. Sure, you've got full control, but it's a tiny reward. Or you can own 4% of a giant watermelon. By partnering up and sharing the pie, your small piece of a massive success is worth infinitely more. So let's just recap the blueprint real quick. Step 1, make that mental commitment. Break the hypnosis and decide you're gonna build multiple streams of income. Step 2, follow what you're genuinely interested in, not just what's trendy. And step 3, accelerate your growth by partnering up for a much, much bigger pie. And that brings us right back to you. Forget what everyone else is doing for a minute. Just look inward. What's that one interest, that one passion you have that could be the very first seed for your own income pyramid? What's the one thing you love doing that could become your next paycheck?
Let's discuss that in the comments section. And as always, thanks for watching Alux Live. Subscribe for more.